At this cemetery in Haifa, Oran Almog reflects on what he calls the price of a deal to free Israeli hostages.
This is the price.
Yes.
Right in front of you.
It's a really huge price for me.
21 years after Oran's father, brother, grandparents, and cousin were killed in a suicide bombing, the man who planned the attack has been set free. It is a price Oran says he is willing to pay. 3 Israeli hostages are now free because of it. This was the grisly scene at the Maxim restaurant in Haifa on October 4th, 2003, after a suicide bomber detonated an explosive belt. Oran had been having lunch with his family. He was blinded by the blast. Now, standing at the memorial dedicated to the 21 victims of the attack, Oran recalls the moment he learned Sami Jaradat, the man who dispatched that suicide bomber, would be released.
The first reaction, I think, was shocked. I was speechless.
But he says he soon started to see the bigger picture.
I understood that if Sami Jaradat will stay in the jail forever, my families who were murdered in the terror attack, they will never return alive. But a living Israeli hostages still come back.
It's something Oran understands better than most. His cousin, Oran Almog Goldstein, and her 3 children had been taken hostage on October 7th and were released as part of the November 2023 ceasefire agreement. Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners have been freed during the first phase of the ceasefire, but most are not convicted murderers like Sami Jaradat. Of the 1,735 Palestinians released during the first phase of the ceasefire, about 15% were convicted of killing Israelis, including soldiers. Another 18% were convicted of attempted murder. Nearly 2/3, including 1,000 Palestinians detained in Gaza during the war, were being held without trial. The remainder were convicted of lesser charges like incitement, a charge that has been used to jail Palestinians over social media posts. That nuance is often lost on the Israeli public.
Israelis believe that a Palestinian that's being held in Israeli detention, by virtue of being held in Israeli detention, must be a terrorist. They don't understand that there could be people who are innocent of any charge, who were basically detained for the purpose of this very moment, the hostage exchange and prisoner release.
Instead, many Israelis think of Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of the October 7th attack, who was among more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners released in exchange for the Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit. Still, a majority of Israelis, like Oran, have consistently supported the ceasefire and hostage release deal, thinking of the hostages above all.
גדי מוזס, גם ברגר and הרבה יהוד. Maybe someone I will meet, גם גדי and Arbel, and they feel the full meaning of this deal and this prize to me. Maybe someone.
Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Haifa, Israel.